You are listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Salla, your source for the uncensored truth regarding the human, extraterrestrial, global, and political agenda. Click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And now, here's Dr. Michael Salla.
Well, I'm very pleased to have JP back with Exopolitics Today. So JP has some really exciting news about a moon mission he recently conducted. And so, welcome, JP.
Good afternoon, Michael Salla. How you doing, doctor?
I am well. Thank you, JP. All right. Well, on Tuesday, December 21st, you contacted me and I guess you were told by someone that you're getting ready or they're getting ready for a moon mission. Well, this is the message you sent me. Let me read out the message you sent me on Skype. You said, they're getting ready for a moon mission. They're going to receive stuff from Earth. So what did you mean by that? Who was getting ready for the moon mission?
The military itself. We were getting ready for a mission, and other military around the world that we're connected to. We're ready to bring something out to the moon.
Okay, so when you talk about the military, now you're actually serving with the US Army. So are we talking about US Space Command getting ready for this mission and kind of like pulling troops from the different services, Army, Navy, Marines, and so forth? Is that what was going on?
Yes, exactly what you just said. Space Command is surely involved. Everything that goes to space has to go through Space Command. But they pick certain groups from different countries in the United States that they want to send to different kind of missions that they want us to perform certain kind of things.
So how were you notified about this? I mean, do you get a phone call? Do you get a text message? Do you just get someone coming up to you?
They just bring everybody to a briefing room with a big screen, and they talk. One of the captains, they talk about the situations, and to enter that room is really classified to enter these rooms, and you got representatives from different countries that go into these rooms. I saw Chinese soldiers. I saw Brazilian soldiers. I also saw even a Russian representative, not a soldier, a Russian representative, and different kind of scientists, archaeologists, a civilian in civilian clothes. Part of these meetings is a meeting of a big room with a big screen, and you have somebody in the podium on the left-hand side talking about what's the mission and what we're going to be doing. But they don't tell you what time the mission is or when is it, because I guess they don't, not trust, but they don't like to tell the time frame until it happens. And it's fast when it happens, when they, pick you up and let's go, let's do this, but you got to be ready 24/7. After you do the meeting, you already have a mindset that you have to be ready, that the mission can be even in the next couple hours. So you just have to have a mindset that after you're going to this meeting, you're like, all right, you're ready to go anytime.
Okay. So there's a briefing in a large room on one of the bases, and we got dozens or hundreds of personnel going into that room. Are they all from the Army, or are we talking
60? You got like 60 or like in between 60 and 75 people in this meeting. And yeah, you got Army, you got Navy, you got Space Force, you got different kind of branches from different countries that go there. I saw Argentinian military people. I saw a lot of Chinese, a couple like probably like 16 representative from Chinese.
How are you notified? Does your because your military occupation specialty is as a quartermaster, chemical repairer, so your immediate superiors, I mean, I assume they don't know about this. So how are you notified that?
Well, some of them, they do know about it, but they don't like to talk about it. And everybody knows when you join the military, you got a specific MOS, but you do get trained to do other different things. You get trained to do different MOSs. You don't just stay in your MOS. You also get trained. They use you for different things. If they know you're talented and they know that you're capable of doing it, and you keep ranking up, they also give you other tasks, and they also give you a chance to experience other MOS. See, I deal with chemical warfare, a quartermaster, but I also deal with the mechanics of trucks, the mechanics of different generator systems, the mechanics of heaters, the mechanics of satellites, the mechanic of drones. So they put you in these little classes for you to have a better understanding of who you work with when you're out going to a mission. Because when you go out for a mission or you go out for a say something bad like a war or something and somebody is down, you got to learn also how to do the other guy's job in order for the mission, to keep going. So we're also like if we go to a mission and we have a pilot and we have a mechanic of the truck and we have a mechanic of a generator or pump or chemical repairs, I have to at least learn another mechanics, like say a mechanic of a truck, but I'm also a chemical repairs. So just in case this guy is down, I take his spot and, we can manage like that. But it's like that. They have people from different MOSs, but you also tasked out to do different things. And people that are in the military, they'll know what I'm talking about, because when you enter the military, you're actually all MOSs.
Okay.
But you do a specific job.
Well, in your message on December 22nd, you told me, okay, so one group's getting ready for a moon mission. Then you said another group is going to Jupiter. They're first going to the moon, then after that they're going to Jupiter. Okay, so
and Mars.
And Mars. So what was that about? What were you told about this moon mission, followed by a Jupiter mission and a Mars mission? What were you and the other personnel told?
We were told that they found something. How can I put this? They found a big object under the ground of the moon. First, they found something activating some large object that was warming the surroundings. And they also found this in Antarctica. They found this in the moon. They found this in Mars. And it's connecting to Jupiter. These messages or these signals that these things are sending out, they're sending it out to like Jupiter, to that particular location.
In your Skype message, you said that the ships, or what it was that was found, got activated after the ships came in to our solar system. So can you explain that?
Well, we had these massive ships that came in our solar system, and they're still in the vicinity of Jupiter. And after these ships got there, these particular we think they're other ships, but we're not sure yet. They're deep inside, and they're warming up the surrounding areas.
Okay, and so they're big, and they're kind of like just buried under the surface of the moon. Or
the moon and Antarctica is warming up also, and also Mars.
Okay. And during the briefing that you had, you said something about them being beacons. Was the military briefing officer saying that they believed these objects that were being found, these craft, were beacons of some kind?
Yeah, some type of beacon. When I was in one of them, not literally in one of them, but part of the entrance was one of them. The walls, they look like metavite. They were talking about, it was metavite crystal. I don't know if you're familiar with metavite crystal. It looks like a black chalky crystal, but the whole walls were made of metavite crystals.
Okay, now
you feel beautiful when you enter into these massive entrances of these. I'm calling them ships. They have to be a ship of some sort.
Okay, because yesterday you sent me a message on Skype saying that you just came back from the mission, that you went to the moon, that you were part of a mission, and then you went inside of one of these craft, and you said that the walls of the ship is made of moldavite. Moldavite. Okay, and that's some sort of crystal, and you just felt very peaceful in there, and that you were there for 6 hours, that you went there at 3 a.m. and got back at roughly 10 a.m.
I made sure I look at my watch before leaving, but we have to leave everything behind, Michael. We have to leave any electronics that we have behind. Even the clothes. They put you in this room that you put your clothes away into this particular square locker that they have, and then the electronics go in this other square locker. that is made of gold lining that nothing comes out of it. And you literally go in this other room with your underwear.
Okay.
And even that they want you to change in the other room to this other kind of type of like boxers like kind of things that they have for you to wear.
Oh, I see. So essentially they get you to strip off naked and put on a completely new wardrobe for the mission. Okay, so that's what happened. So yesterday morning you get woken up at 3 a.m.
I was up already.
Okay.
I was watching Netflix.
Okay.
But everybody was asleep. And then somebody knocked on the door. It was the military police. And they said, "Oh, they're waiting for you." And right there and then you already know what it is and what to bring and, you know.
And so where did you go? Did you go into a room? I mean, we're talking about a base.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you say if it's an Air Force base, an Army base? Is that? Can you say that? Is that all right?
It's connected. It's connected. Yeah, it's connected.
It's an inter-services base.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they take you to this field. We go to this field. It's surrounded by grass. A lot of different kind of ospreys. A lot of different kind of helicopters. They land there, and also other kind of ships. They land there, and we get in the ship. Prior from there, we go to that other facility that we strip down, and we're secondary brief what's going to happen, and then we take the minivan or buses to that location to where these particular ships are at.
Okay, so there's a landing field and there's ospreys, military helicopters there, and these craft that are going to take you to the moon. And so
yeah,
I guess the 60, 70 personnel that got that briefing.
Everybody went different times. Everybody did not go the same time as me. Everybody got their different schedule. But I saw a couple of them that were in the brief. I saw a couple of them in the same spot where I was.
Mm-hmm. So everyone's gotten changed. You're in new uniforms. Now you get on a craft. So what kind of a craft?
They look similar to a TR-3B.
Okay. So how big? Are we talking like 600 foot like a TR-3B or something smaller?
It was a big TR-3B, 77-foot round. So yeah, it was quite big.
Can you explain what you mean a 70-foot round? Because
like 32, 32, 32. But it was triangular shape, yeah.
So when you say 32, I mean, you're talking about the length of the sides. We're talking
the length of the sides.
32 yards, 32 feet?
32 feet.
Okay, so that's not a big craft then. How many people could get on that?
Like 6 or 4.
Okay, all right. So 6 or 4 people. So you got on that triangle craft, and so what happened next?
That's quite big. Like when you see it, I'm like, oh, it's kind of big.
Okay. So when you get in it, what happens? Do you strap into a chair? Is it like getting into a first class on an airplane? What's it like?
Yeah, you get in, you get strapped in the chair, and you have somebody else making sure you're strapped in. Everybody's facing one way, and you have a screen on your right-hand side telling you about your location. It's like a screen that pops up, and yeah, it kind of looks like a funny, like a Tesla car, but a little bit more advanced.
Okay, so we're talking.
And the seats, they go back when they're ready to take off.
And so when it takes off, what do you feel? Do you feel like a G-force, or is it?
No, you don't feel a G-force. You just feel moving. You move, but you don't feel no G-force. And these ships, you don't black out or nothing. But on the screen that you have, you can choose if you want to look outside, and you can. And in a matter of 30, 40 seconds, we're out already. Like 1 minute, we're out of the atmosphere. And then it took us like 13 minutes around there, 15 to go to the moon.
Okay, so you're in this triangle craft, about 6 of you, and the walls are like transparent, or you can see outside as you're going, and it takes you a minute to get outside of the atmosphere, and then you kind of see the stars and Earth and the moon as you're going to the moon in that 15 minute ride. Is that?
Yeah, you can't really see the stars. Like you can see a couple stars, but yeah, you can see the Earth. You can see the beautiful atmosphere when you leave. You can see the transition of blue to black, and
are you
yeah.
talking with the other people, the other personnel? Are you allowed to talk? Is there a commanding officer, giving you a
There's
brief?
always one guy that's always talking. I'm not that guy, but like nervous, nervous people that keep talking and they're scared and, oh, what the heck am I getting into? Well, this is so stupid. Oh, like you always have one person that is always scared of the situation, which it's probably his third or fourth ride on the bull, But after you
Okay.
get a couple rides, you're good to go.
Okay.
But you always have one person talking a lot of what he's supposed to be talking about.
Mm.
And the person that was talking a lot, he was a type of archaeologist from Nevada. He was telling everybody, oh, I'm from Nevada, yeah. But he knows a lot about different languages. He knows how to read a lot of different ancient languages, so he's good with that. He was talking about that. I remember him saying that.
Excellent. Okay, so after 15 minutes, you arrive. The craft arrives on the surface of the moon, or does it go into
No, we arrived
facility?
prior to the moon to connect with somebody else that is gonna take us. Another ship is waiting for us, and then that other ship, we follow the other ship, and it takes us to a facility that we need to go.
And what is this facility? Is that on the surface of the moon, underground?
It's on the surface of the moon, and this is a facility that they have the other transportation that takes you to this location that is heating up. It's the size of the place that's heating up, the size of probably like 1 mile square or 3/4 of a mile square around, and it's heating up, and they just want to enter this place that's heating up to see what the heck it is.
Mm-hmm. And so what are you wearing? When you arrive on the moon, what are you wearing?
We're wearing black suits with the insignia of where we came from. We're wearing the United States flag.
And what is your insignia? Can you say that? Are you allowed to say what your insignia?
Not now.
Okay.
I'm not allowed to say about my insignia.
All right. Okay. You have a helmet or something?
Yeah, we have helmets. We have a little bit bigger helmets when we go to the moon.
Okay, so you arrive at the moon facility, and you're in black suits. You got face masks, and so what happens next?
They take us to this place that we meet up. Everybody's there. Not the 60 people. I only saw like 30 or 38 people there in this other room, and they sit us in this other big room, and they brief us of what we're about to do. And it was like 30 minutes long, the briefing, and they're discussing how or what was warming up these surfaces. And then another guy, he said, oh, these are ships for sure. And they were talking about what entrance to go into. And then another guy saying, how about we encounter ET, what do we do? And then there's another guy that briefs that, oh, if you encounter another ET, is probably one of the ETs that are there already that work with us, so don't worry about that. That are also doing investigation on these. But there's another guy, he had a beard and he had glasses, really he had a leather hat inside. I guess he doesn't leave the facility a lot, but he's like a well-known archaeologist, and he's also a good type of mechanic guy. So he knows a lot of information, and he's always carrying a little, like a book bag with a computer system inside the bag. He brings out the computer, laptop. He's still old school, and he knows everything about these places, and he's the one directing most of the missions. That when people get there, he's the one briefing. He has a long beard, glasses, and he's telling people that these places that we're visiting, they're really ancient and they just got activated. But they've been investigating these places, but now being activated, certain places of this spot that we're visiting, some doors has opened and they haven't seen what's inside these doors.
Okay, so this object, I mean, we're talking about something that's like under the surface of the moon, or is it completely submerged, or is it some of it is protruding out of the surface of the moon?
Well, yes. One side it's like an angle. So one side, the side that we get in is on the surface, but it goes into the surface sideways, and they can tell it's a big object because when they send certain kind of satellites that we have or drones, it has a gravitational pull, and it is huge, and it's not part of the moon.
Okay, we're talking about a gravity well. Is that what you mean? Like you feel gravity, increased gravity around that? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, the gravity increases around this object.
Interesting. Okay, so you're kind of like you're actually walking on the surface of the moon in your suit, face mask, helmet,
Facility.
and then you enter the object.
We're in a facility
Mm-hmm.
that has oxygen and has running water.
Mm-hmm.
This facility, you don't wear your helmet. Like your helmet is off, everything is off. The helmet, when you put it on, it wraps around your face and it connects, it hugs the uniform, and they connect to each other. Is micro technology that it just connects like a zipper, but it does it by itself like a magnet, and it's loose. And then on the left hand side of the helmet, you have this button that you switch up, but you leave it up. If you switch it down, it opens up. So that button, you stay away from that button. You know, it's right behind your ear. And then it connects to your helmet once you get out from the facility or you go to the moon surface.
Okay, so you exit the facility and now you're on the surface of the moon and you go to this object, which is part of it is protruding out, and you're able to get inside and it's heating up. And so what do you see when you go inside?
Well, this place is in the dark side of the moon. It's you take after you get out, you get into this smaller shuttle type of craft, and it takes you over these like craters. They take you over these craters, and then you land, and then that's when we start the mission to walk it into these objects that we're finding.
So what is your mission? You know, what are you assigned to do when you get there? What's your job?
They want me to assist those people that go do the mission, assist in whatever they need.
Mm-hmm. Are you given any specific instructions about how you're to assist? I mean, are you to just somehow...
they just assign you to a particular person, and you are to follow this person wherever he goes for him to complete what he has to do.
Okay.
And the person I was assigned to, he was trying to find. They assigned him to find these like plates or these objects that has writings.
Okay, so you're assigned to help someone like an archaeologist whose job is to find some writing inside of this craft.
Yes.
Writings that I think you described them as Rosetta type writing all over the structures.
Mm-hmm.
So inside, so can you? Does it look like hieroglyphics? Or what are the writing look like?
You had hieroglyphics. You had other type of languages. I never seen it before. I never seen these languages before, these writings. But I did recognize the hieroglyphics, the Egyptian types of writings.
And so what is the archaeologist doing? I mean, is he taking photographs of the writings?
They're taking photographs, but these photographs is like an X-ray kind of thing to see what's behind the writings, or also to see what's in front. Like it shows, because there's some plates that we were looking at that they had writings, but they also had writing on top of it, and they had another writing on top of it. So it's kind of puzzly how they have like a couple of languages on top of each other. So he had to take a picture with this device that is like an X-ray kind of picture that takes a picture of layers. So it looks like different civilizations wrote on top of other civilizations, and it makes it hard to understand or to read it. Yeah, it was kind of interesting the way he was doing it.
Okay, and so what kind of assistance did you give him?
I was making sure he was okay, not getting hurt on the places that he was, going to, making sure nobody interrupts the job that he was doing.
So you're kind of like providing security. So I assume you have some kind of weapon.
I had a type of weapon. I had a weapon.
Describe the weapon.
The weapon looked like a type of M4, but it was not. It was more advanced.
Okay. So you're there, and so you're accompanying this archaeologist as he does his analysis.
We were one of the first ones to enter into this facility. So we're making sure the information we get and the information that we receive does not get out to the wrong hands, to the wrong people, because the information can lead to a lot of breakthroughs in this particular area that we were in the ship.
Now, you described the ship as kind of like several stadiums, the size of several stadiums. So what are we talking about? Are we talking something like an aircraft carrier size?
Yes, it's huge. Aircraft carrier inside another aircraft carrier is humongous. It is huge.
I see.
The other party, when we came back and we met up, again, they were talking about they went into a cavern-looking area that was huge, that they had other smaller ships that they saw that were ancient. And these smaller ships were activated as well. And they saw one ship that they were telling the guy with the beard, hey, this ship, it looked like it moved when we got there. And it came back and it moved and did not move. We did not want to approach it because we don't know who or what moved it. So a lot of teams went in different spots. But the place where I went was where these writings were. We also found a couple of balls, metal balls, that when you move them, they control certain kind of systems inside the ships, like heating systems. And they're just like little balls connected to a table. And when you twist these balls, it controls certain part of the ships, doors and all that.
Okay, you mentioned there were Chinese soldiers there as well. So what was happening? Were the Chinese would do the same as you guys?
Yeah, we had another party with us, and they had a Chinese soldier doing the same job I was doing, but they had a Chinese archaeologist as well that was working with one of our guys. And the Chinese were one of the first ones to enter this particular place. And the Chinese government, they're the first ones to find this particular entrance that they wanted to work with us to go in. So the security was me, protecting the guy from the Chinese soldier, but not really, a lot of politics into that. But we all got along. We all was working together and all that.
Okay, well, I know China has a lander and a rover on the moon. I think it's called Yutu 1 or Yutu 2. And so is this how they discovered this craft protruding out of the surface of the moon? Yeah, through the Chinese rover, Chinese rover found it on the moon.
That video and that particular thing was not supposed to come out. That was a leak that happened, that somebody leaked it. That was the reason about the security and everything that was happening for us having security, because they were leaking out certain kind of things that we were supposed to leak to the public yet. It was supposed to come out a particular time, but somebody from the Chinese government leaked that out. And that's the reason, because of the security, and they asked for our assistance for us to investigate what was this object. Okay. But yeah, it's in that particular area.
All right. So the China's moon lander played a role in the discovery of this giant craft, and so they were the first to find it, and so they're the first to go in.
We all went in together.
I see.
They found the object, but we all went in together. They wouldn't go in. They wouldn't go in without us, because they know that we know things that they don't know.
I see. So how do you describe the relationship between the Chinese soldiers and the American soldiers?
We were fooling around. We were talking to each other. They talk English as well. And they were talking to us that whatever's on Earth is on Earth, but here we're together as a team. And we just talk about, different stuff about what happens on Earth.
Okay, so you're there for a total of around 6 hours, and
When we were investigating these holographic and this Rosetta Stone looking, that was like 4 hours in. But to get there, it took us probably like 2 hours to get there.
to the craft from the time you landed at the facility, the moon facility, and got into the shuttle, and
No, by the time we got to the facility, it was already 2 hours in.
okay. So the time you spent inside of the craft was how many hours?
Like 2 hours.
Okay, so during that time, all you did was you just escorted this archaeologist as he's scanning and taking X-rays or photos of the different writings inside of the craft.
We have these drones that we have with us that they're the size of, they're like regular size drones. But these drones, the Chinese had like 16 of them. We had like 20 of them. These drones, they follow us and they fly high and they give light, like a bluish light. So imagine looking up and looking at 30 or 40 drones with flashing lights down. So everything you could see like clearly. These lights were bright. So these drones we use to flash these lights in. But these drones, they don't fly like regular drones. They have the anti-gravity technology that we use with the TR-3B or different other ships. And they have these bright lights that they help us find stuff, and they map out the area prior until we get there. So these drones, they help out a lot, like to not get lost, and they guide us. And it's a kind of AI. It's a really smart technology that we have that helps us map out and, keep us away from dangerous spots, or also places that we're not supposed to go, that they don't want us to go. So we don't really know who controls these drones, but they're self-taught to map out and to light for us, our mission.
So how would you describe the interior of the craft?
It had that crystal I was telling you about, Menavite, how you say it?
Moldavite?
Moldavite. And the walls had Moldavite, but it looked like a charcoal kind of thing, but it's smooth. Where you see the holographics or something, it's smooth and you can see the writings and all that. But most of the wall, like, you felt a sense of peace, similar to what I felt similar to Genevieve when we visited over there.
Mhm. And when you're inside the craft, I mean, is it like the interior of an aircraft carrier or something? You got different levels, or is it more like entering into a football stadium where you just have huge space? What's it like in
Yeah,
the interior?
it's like entering a football stadium, huge space. Like, it's really high. You can see the high walls, how high they are, and you can even see more holographic on top that we couldn't even reach. We couldn't even see. So whoever wrote these, they wrote a lot of information. It's like a type of a library about giving information, but it's different. It's really ancient. It's really ancient. So we're really interested. We were really interested. The archaeologists, I was really interested in what the archaeologist was saying. He was saying that it's connected to the same things they have on Mars and certain kind of moons we have in our solar system. So when he said that kind of interested me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you had a very peaceful feeling inside of there. Did you get a sense that the vessel was like a giant carrier of some sort? Was it a warship of some kind, or was it more like an ark or like a biodome?
More like, for me, I see like an arc of information. Yeah, of writings.
Mm-hmm. So all the writings were kind of like on the walls, and it's like a giant stadium. So what was on the interior? Any idea of what was in the interior of this craft?
Well, they found certain kind of like fossils of planet Earth plants that are similar to the Cretaceous period, from when the ancient animals on Earth used to live. So they found similar fossils of old plants that they had on certain kind of they look like chairs, And but on these chairs, they had the imprint of these plants that they saw, that they knew they were ancient and they're already extinct on Earth. So they're also saying that these ships have been to Earth a couple of times and have connected with different civilizations on Earth. So it's
Okay,
kind of interesting.
so did you get any idea, or were you briefed how those ships got there on the moon? I mean, that particular one, did it crash there? Was it left? Was it a permanent structure there?
Well, they're saying it's not crashed. Right now, it's activated and sending messages to these other ships by Jupiter and by our asteroid belt. And it's sending these like messages that we can't decipher. We can't decipher yet. But it's like, come, we're ready. Like, come get us. Like, sending these messages.
Okay, so it's some kind of a beacon transmitting to this fleet of craft that came into our solar system recently and is parked around the moons of Ganymede and Jupiter. And so it's connected in some way to all of that, but we don't know, or you don't know for sure. You don't think it was a craft, a flying spacecraft. You think it was more a permanent structure there built on the moon?
Everybody thinks it's a flying spacecraft, but it's not connected to the moon. It's a different, it's different material.
I see.
And you can see the outlining from satellites. You can see the warmness. That's really warm. You can see the it's like a oval, long type of craft.
Okay. Long oval type of craft. All right. So I guess an ellipsoid, something like that. Okay, kind of like a football shape. Is that what we're talking about?
Kind of like a football shape, but larger, like wider than a football. But it's like an oval, but a little bit wider than an oval, almost a circle.
I see. So almost like a sphere.
Almost like a sphere, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Okay, so when you finish the mission, you, I guess, go back to the craft, and are you debriefed? Are you told you're not to talk about this? And
No, they know that we know not to like say certain kind of stuff. There's other things that happen there that we're not at liberty to talk about it yet. That I think it will come out in the news or soon of what happened.
Well, I know a lot of people listening to this will ask the question, well, why are you allowed to talk about this? Why aren't you arrested by the MPs?
Just because everybody knows already.
Everybody knows within the military, you mean?
Like you, like different people that are connected. They know about this. So we're a lot that know about this already. So if they do try something to me, they're doing it to all of us.
Okay, but you have never been told not to talk about this to private investigators like myself?
They told me, make sure you don't talk the deep details of what's happening, but it's up to you.
Okay. So this is like a controlled disclosure initiative where the people running these programs are allowing soldiers like you to reveal some of what's going on without getting too specific.
Yeah.
Are there other soldiers that are talking, or are you the first?
I don't know if there's other soldiers talking, but I'm saying what I can help you guys with, to get closer to the, to what we need to know.
Are you allowed to talk to the other soldiers on these missions? When you get back to your post.
Oh yeah, if they approach me, and if they approach to me and they ask me, hey, do you remember this? Do you remember that? Yeah, I'll talk to them.
Okay.
I think they kind of know who retains and who forgets, because we do go through, when we get back our stuff, we go through that sound machine that I told you about that makes certain people forget.
I see. So there was this kind of mind wiping technology.
Oh yeah,
was used on you. That's standard operating procedure.
Yeah, they always have these.
Okay.
these technologies.
So only a very few of the personnel on these missions actually are able to do the mission and then go through this mind wiping technology and remember it. And you're one of those few. Great. Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer. I know you mentioned Mars and Jupiter, that these are upcoming missions, or you're going to be part of these upcoming missions?
No, it happened the same time. So what happened was in the briefing, all these 60 or 70 people they all got spread out to different places. I just happened to be the one on the moon.
I see. So some went to Mars, some went to, well, when you say Jupiter, you're talking one of the moons of Jupiter?
Or the moons on Jupiter or around Jupiter.
Okay, do you know which of the moons?
I do not know what moon, but they said the vicinity of Jupiter.
Okay, all right. And you mentioned Antarctica as well. That one of these.
Antarctica as well. They had another thing going over there.
Okay, so that original briefing that you went to, where there were roughly 60 soldiers or scientists and so forth.
Well, the thing is, Michael, all these things that we found, they were the same shape. They were the same size. And they were warming up the same temperature. So all these groups that went out were doing the same thing in the same time. These ships had everything identical to each other. That's what found it interesting to everybody. Everybody was like, wow, this is crazy. We got a ship on the moon. We got another one on Mars. We got another one in Antarctica. Another one they found somewhere else. And the people that went to Jupiter, we do not know why they went over there, but they just went over there. But the other ones that were going to Mars or Antarctica or the moon, we're all doing the same thing at the same time. So when we were in this particular room, everybody else in Mars and Antarctica, they were in the same room doing the same research.
Mm-hmm.
So we were moving through the rooms in the same time, but each place had different writings and different things that happened and dates, and it's quite interesting.
And you say this is all going to come out soon? I mean, do you know more about when this is going to come out?
No, I do not know when this is going to come out, but I think something connected to this is going to come out soon to the public. Okay,
well, thank you, JP, for sharing that. Really appreciate you doing this. And just to repeat, JP is currently serving with the US Army. I guess you're entering your third year pretty soon, right?
And enter my third year. And I want to apologize for my grammar or the English speaking language, because I speak Portuguese, Spanish, and it is hard for me also to put words together. So I want to apologize, Doctor, if I can't phrase or talk perfectly and what I'm trying to express myself in. But you know me for years, so you understand how I put words together.
Sure. Yeah, I've known you for 13 years, and English is not your first language. It's probably your second or third language.
It is my third language.
It's your third language. So you learned Spanish first, and then Portuguese, and then English is your third language. So that's for those that want to know why JP's grammar isn't as good as mine, for example. Well, I want to thank you, JP, for doing this. Appreciate your bravery in coming forward, and you are definitely helping inform people about some incredible events that are happening off planet.
Awesome. I'm really happy, and I'm really happy for what is to come. A lot of good things are happening, and we just have to think positive and make it happen, and believe in those that are bringing out the truth.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you, JP.
All right. Thank you very much, Doctor. Appreciate you.